Hi, and welcome to Elicia Woodford's Resource Vibe. This is your trusted directory for master level spiritual healing, guidance, and business resources so you can be aligned with your true essence. All of the guests that I have on the Resource Vibe help support you and getting to know your true self, uncovering things in the way, helping you connect with your higher self, your true essence, being aligned with that, seeing what traumas are there to heal. There could be interferences. Everyone I have on helps support you. And I want to talk today about support. I also want to share the origins of this podcast, how I came to create it. And I was so inspired from episode 8, my last guest, Jo Soley, talking about numerology. And I had her on because I had a consultation with her in the beginning of this year for my personal year. So we talked a lot about that. And on the podcast, she started sharing about my life path number, which is 7, which I knew, but I didn't really know. I didn't really know how to be aligned with my 7. And she had said some things on the show that made a lot of sense for me and made me realize that I need to know more about my personal life path number and all the other numbers that impact me. So I ended up booking a life path consultation with her and another one follow up with all these other numbers that are impacting me. I wish I had done this years ago. I wish I knew about Jo Soley. I wish I had this resource when I started my business 20 years ago. It would have helped me so much in how I have been living and approaching how I work. It's more so about living accordingly to your life path number and the other numbers that impact you, and everything else works. Even if you aren't a business owner, it's so good to know what works best for you. And so this podcast came from being a life path 7. I am a seeker. My whole path is about learning, gaining wisdom, and sharing that. And my specific passion, purpose, and mission is to research wellness, healing, self-actualization, and and all of the people and their specific gifts who help us become more of who we are and who we are meant to be, who we want to be in this life. So it all made sense during the show. Jo was sharing these things and it started clicking. And it was episode 8. And in numerology, 8, as Jo shared, is about higher consciousness. Everyone thinks it's about abundance and making money, which it can be, but it's really about the higher consciousness. And so when we were talking, it was connecting to my higher consciousness in that it was exactly true for me. And I wanted to know more. So I booked a consultation for my life path. And I had that consultation with her yesterday, and it was so incredibly helpful. I wanted to come on here and share more about my background and how I've come to create the Resource Vibe podcast. I also want to share how you can use it and to help you more with how to choose the right people for you based on where you are and what you need. And I want to encourage everyone to start with the blueprint. The blueprint is episode 1. You know, with everything that I do, it's an intuitive. I don't plan anything. I have no show notes today. I really just wanted to come and share about this experience I had with numerology and how it relates to the resource vibe. And I also realize everything is intuitive with me, which Jo shared as well, because of another number in my chart comes from a past life, which is 11. And I was a spiritual teacher and I'm psychic and intuitive. But this lifetime, because my life path 7, it's important for me to continue to research and learn and share what I'm learning. And then how it works best for me is to not work that much and to not try to make things happen. It's more about staying connected on a deeper level to myself, and things just start to happen and come to me, which that always works best for me. So when the idea came for this, it came suddenly. And I just started getting the information I needed to create this. Every guest I have on is also an intuitive process. I just felt like I wanted to start with Gandharva with episode 1. And then it's always after the fact of the reason why comes to me. Said, oh yeah, that makes sense, because everyone needs to start with their blueprint. No matter where you are in life, how well you know yourself, or how much healing you've done, the blueprint really is the foundation. And that's why it's in episode 1. It benefits everyone. Had him on again in episode 7 to talk about after the blueprint and the other things that help and knowing other people's blueprint. Because once you know your soul's blueprint in every area of life and you are aligned with it, everything becomes easier and you feel better. The same with your numerology. Episode 8 was specific about how we work. So even if you're an entrepreneur or you're a business owner, you may be working for someone, but you want to know how you work best. And so it will help you no matter where you are, specifically with how you work. And so Jo in episode 8 shared of how each life path number, what they're meant to be like. There are some who are meant to lead and work alone. And then there's some who are meant to be the support for other people. And so Jo shared her personal example of how she was in the wrong role, and that's why things really weren't working for her. And when she understood her life path number and then her role with her life path number, things worked a lot better and she feels better. And so she was sharing about my life path 7, and then my birthday is on the 1st. So things don't work well when I am leading with the 1st. So number 1 is the leader. Things work better for me when I am being my 7, which is the deep introspection, a lot of alone time, researching, learning, and then sharing it, but not being the leader all the time. And there was a lot more that went with it. And so I just wanted to encourage everyone, because I wish I knew that 20 years ago when I started my business. I would have saved myself so much stress, and I was spinning my wheels a lot because that one was trying to make things happen and pushing and working hard. And so if I knew about my 7 and I could be more coming from that place, then things would have worked a lot easier for me. And so I want to encourage everyone to start with the life path number with Jo, so you can be in the role that you're meant to be. And it's similar to the blueprint in episode 1 is specific around how you work and the role you're meant to be in. Whereas the blueprint in episode 1 is how we are in every area of our life. So how are we in relationships and marriage, with our physical health, with our vital body, how it works best for us to spiritually connect when we play. So all of those specifics are in the blueprint. And these things are, for me, after researching for 30 years, self-awareness, wellness, and healing modalities, I do believe just knowing these are your baseline, like your blueprint, the things that don't change, to know those, to accept those things about yourself, to be how you're meant to be. will help you feel so much better and things will work a lot easier. Then from there, you can go into some things that need to be addressed or healed. Maybe there's patterns that you keep noticing that you're stuck in. It could be wounding, where it's like this thing keeps happening. I keep feeling the same way. That's when you need to go deeper into subconscious healing, trauma healing. And so I have resources for that. We have on episode 3, Jen Duchenne. She does the Akashic record reading and healing that is so powerful when you recognize that you're in something that you just can't seem to shift yourself. I also have other healers that haven't come on the resource vibe yet, can also help you if you feel like you're stuck in a major trauma response and overwhelming triggers. I have someone who can help with the intuitive trauma healing and what age you're stuck in that trauma. And it's a beautiful process of connection and integration of traumatized earlier ages. And so there's so many people I have in my network. I'm only beginning this. The resource vibe is an evolution of what I've been doing for the past 20 years. The first directory I created was 20 years ago. And I've created 4 directories around the world. This is the modern day directory. So this is actually my 5th iteration of this. And today is episode 9. And so following up on numerology, 9 is about humanitarianism, selflessness, giving to the world. And this is what I have been doing for 20 years. When I first connected that I wanted to share all of the resources that I was collecting for myself 30 years ago, I was researching and experimenting and trying as many modalities as I could to help with health and wellness. And people knew that I had really good resources and I could sense what would be best for them. So people in my circle would always come to me and say, Elicia, where do I go for this? Or do you have a place for this? Or who could help me with this? And so I started creating a directory 20 years ago before there was website templates for directories. And so I actually invested all the money I had to try to create an online directory. This mission of mine has not made money, but it's been a selfless calling to share the resources who can help you. So I first started with this online directory, this concept. I called it Where Wellness because it's where to go for wellness back then. And I ended up having to do other things because I ran out of money when I was trying to create it. And I started helping the wellness businesses directly with setting up their social media. Back then, Facebook was new, blogs were new, newsletters were new. So I help them connect to the people looking for them in a different way. And then I ended up going to Thailand. It was a calling of mine. And I came to realize when I was there that there was so many detox wellness retreats. And I was speaking to the owner, guy with the spa, rest in peace. He passed away recently over the last year. Guy, I was meeting with him in his second location up in Chiang Mai, and he said, "You need to go to Koh Samui. This is your hub of passions." Because I was telling him I wanted to create a guidebook in Thailand because there were so many health and wellness and detox retreats. And he said, Koh Samui has 14 different ones, and there's a whole big community there, and they're all meeting the day after you finish your program, where I was going through his 7-day cleanse. And I was helping him get set up with their Facebook page, blog, and newsletter, which ended up connecting so many people to the spa. through the social media that I set up for him. And he said, the day after I finished my cleanse is the meeting in Koh Samui of all of the resources on Koh Samui, all of the healers and practitioners and the retreats are meeting in one place to try to figure out how people can know about them. So, of course, I get on a plane, I go directly to this meeting. I researched all of them, experienced them. I created a directory called Samui Healing. I helped people who were looking for retreats and connected them to the right retreat for them and the healers who could complement what they were needing. And then that evolved into another website called Retreat Yourself. So I was starting a YouTube channel called the Detox World Tour, going beyond Thailand. My vision for it was to research retreats and healers around the world. And so the Retreat Yourself was really that hub of retreats that I started to research outside of Thailand. I ended up going to San Francisco and again had to start over in a way, but I was pulled into the holistic community and quickly connected to a holistic directory that was already operating. And I partnered with the owners and I helped them build the holistic directory called Awakening the Bay. And when I partnered with them, we changed it to Awakening 360 because it was meant to uh, be accessible to include all the resources around the world. So again, this mission of mine, this calling, I just kept creating and I was researching and experiencing the best healers around the world. One of my gifts is to see the truth and to see what's bullshit as well. So I also experienced a lot of the con artists and the people who were not helping people. There was a retreat owner in Thailand who was selling light in a bottle, a little tiny bottle for $200 with light in it. Okay. So I was like, that's ridiculous. And then he turned to me and he said, your purpose is the truth, which was interesting. I had another healer in Atlanta I was experiencing. He was a Mayan calendar expert and he also did energy healing and he was a predator. So he would do strong energy work on women and say there was some attachment at their chest and he needed to get at it to remove it and they needed to take off their shirt. And so I addressed it with him and called him out. And he said, my purpose is to help expose men and abuse and predators. And interesting, right? So I do help everyone heal from abuse, patterns of abuse. I wrote my memoir about my journey. My memoir is Free to Be Me, memoir of trauma, healing, and rebirth. And so you can read this as a map, a mirror, and a guidebook of a healing process, an example of how to recognize when you're in patterns and heal the source of them, to know when you need help because you're not able to get to it on your own. Only we can heal ourselves, but we do need help. And this is why I am creating these directories and eventually evolving into this podcast directory. The purpose is really to provide the ones who are able to help you get to what you can't on your own. So there's many thoughts and beliefs around support or giving your power away. Many people who feel like you should only go within and you have all the answers and to not look outside of yourself. Well, that can come from not trusting support. That can be a core wound from a past life or this life or both of being betrayed, and people using you, and some of the examples I just said, how, they're not good for you. But we don't know everything ourselves because we are all coming from our wounding and our conditioning and karma from past lives. And each one of us who are come here to help others have specific gifts. And we're here to help each other. We are all here with our gifts to express our gifts, to heal our wounding, to come more into our gifts, to help the world. And we need each other. And so the purpose of this podcast directory is to help connect you to who can help you. And I share how they can help you. And it's even better than the directories I was creating over the last 20 years because this is an interactive directory. I am personally sharing my experience with each person and sharing what their unique gift is and how they help each person specifically so you can recognize if they can help you and when they can help you. And so you can also get a feel for them. I'm recording these on video. You can listen to them on any podcast platform, but you can also see and feel each person on YouTube or Spotify video and get a feel for them, and you'll know, you'll resonate with the person who you're meant to work with. This podcast directory is going to keep expanding with more and more and more resources, and it's not the only thing out there. Everyone on here can help you. I've experienced them. I'm vetting them for you. I'm sharing how they can help you and when and in what capacity. So it's very clear for you. And you may connect to other people who come into your life because you've recognized through this podcast maybe some need that you have where you want and need to be supported through a deeper healing process or getting more aligned and knowing your true self. And then you're all of a sudden come across someone else because you have this awareness, because you've learned about something that can help you. You may find someone on your own, and that's great. This podcast is not the only resource. Everyone on here are powerful and they can help you. And there's many other people in the world who can too. So my mission is to help just share my experiences to help you open up to connect to more of your truth and the people who can help you be more of who you truly are and express your essence, express your gifts, and accept what works best for you. I am going to reiterate that, a lot of the people I have here are very specifically helping you accept who you are and how you live and express yourself and how it's different than other people. This acceptance and alignment is so life-changing. It makes everything easier. You're not going against your true nature, or you're flowing with your true nature, and everything works better because of that. So thank you for listening to the Resource Vibe, for learning about different practitioners, modalities. I will continue to learn and share more and more for you to help you. I have such a big love for humanity and for humanity to heal, for each person to continue to heal. Even if you are a master healer yourself, it is so important for us all to continue to be aware of what needs our attention and who can help us with that. And that is my mission, my purpose, my passion is to share the support to help you continue to heal, continue to know yourself, continue to evolve and be aligned and express your true essence. Before I came on, I pulled a card from Osho's Zen Tarot, and the card is the outsider. And the picture, if you're listening to this, is a little boy at a gate that has a chain on it, but the chain has a lock that is unlocked. So here he is at the gate thinking that it's locked when all he has to do is take the lock off the chain and open the door. And this, I feel, is a really good representation of what's happening for most of us, is that we're not aware that we can open the door because of conditioning, because of traumas, because of past life karmas and the way that we're perceiving things. And this is what everyone I'm having on as a guest can help you with, is just showing you the way to open the door specifically for you and exactly what you need to move forward, to go into your next phase. You may all be going into some major transition where you need support to show you the way, the next step, how to clear what's in the way, how to open the door for you. So the best way to connect with me is on Substack, Resource Vibe. I'm going to share the link below this, and please subscribe. It's free. All of my podcast episodes are there. My articles are there. My experiences with these resources. I'm going to be sharing more resources with you. Please refer anyone that has made a big impact in your life that would be good for me to connect with, to share with the world as well. The Substack Resource Vibe community is really the free spiritual healing guidance place for you to all connect, to share how these resources are helping you, to help other people, to ask me who would be good for you based on where you are. We all need support, so we are centered and grounded, and we can hold the energy of this transition, this transformation for us all. Thank you for joining. Please subscribe and share the Resource Vibe from my heart to yours. I am looking forward to connecting with you in Substack and on the next episodes. See you next time.